What's good, y'all? It's Ty Slatter, and welcome to another edition of Real Talk with Ty. If you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to Ty Slatter on YouTube, Ty Slatter on all social media platforms, and make sure you get your copy of The Dawn. Link is in the bio. Get your personal copy today. Coming to a city near you, coming to a venue near you. Appreciate all the love and support. And make sure you tap in to Real Talk with Ty on YouTube, Late Night Vibe with Ty on TikTok. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss a beat. We got more heat coming for you. Let's lock in. Today's topic is something that you're gonna hear a lot of channels talk about depending on who you follow, who's in your algorithm. But I want to talk about why I believe making great music isn't good enough anymore. Now, you're probably thinking, well, if I make a great record, a hit is a hit. Theoretically, yes, but not when we already know and there's visible evidence to prove it. Do you Google, that Billboard is a system. Records get paid to place on a chart. When it comes to the Grammys, there's a team of voters that vote records to win Grammys. These are things that everybody should know by now. This is not conspiracy theory, it's not a rumor, it's not a myth, it's facts, right? In 2026, attention is the new currency. The listener's attention is more valuable than money, which sounds crazy because I'm like, wow, so somebody's attention keeps the lights on. It sounds crazy, but hear me out. They have this thing called the 5-second rule. If a song doesn't catch a listener's ear within the first 3 to 5 seconds, you've lost them. That's how fast the attention span is, all right? Especially on social media. The quality versus quantity situation. They're constantly battling these two extremes. Streaming platforms, social algorithms, they often reward the frequent output over the creative standards, leading to artist burnout and constant grind mentality. And this is where you get people dropping a bunch of mixtapes, a bunch of albums. The quality is not always going to be the top priority because the algorithm wants to be constantly fed more content. Constantly. So when you want to take your time and craft a project, you're going to fall behind on the algorithm because they're not going to push you because you're not consistent enough. And it's based because everything is based on an algorithm. A never-ending bottomless pit is what I would consider an algorithm. A bottomless pit that never is satisfied, always wants more. So branding, the human connection over the MP3. Listeners want the full package. A cohesive experience, visuals, values, and a life story rather than just a good song. Back in the day, you get away with a hot record and they don't care how you made it. They don't care where you made it. They don't really care where you're from. As long as the record's hot, you're going platinum. There was a time where that was all you needed was one hit record. They would always say you're one hit away from your life changing. Not anymore. Authenticity versus AI. Now, you're going to hear a lot about this debate right here. This one goes right up there with the quality and quantity. Authenticity and AI, those two are like 1A, 1B. AI-generated music is becoming more prevalent. The value of human art and a relatable personal brand is becoming the primary differentiator. So the reason why Not Like Us was the last big record that we had, which was hard to believe, in almost 2 years, because of the personal brand that was attached to it. You had Kendrick Lamar and you had Drake, two of the biggest MCs in the game, going head to head. And it was based on who can make the hottest record, and everybody gravitated to it. Not Like Us won the battle, and 2 years later, we're still talking about Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. I don't want to talk about it, but I'm just keeping it real. We still talking about it. It's still in the algorithm, all right? Let's talk about community building. So success is increasingly tied to the ability to foster a connection, a community. You're building a community where your fans feel like they have a personal investment in your journey. Make them feel like they family, like you letting them in your mama house on Thanksgiving and tell them grab your plate. grab a hand and say prayer if you believe in that. You know, I'm talking to my brothers and sisters of the melanin community. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what it's about, man. Community. If you could do that with your fan base, you got a way better chance of having a substantial place in the algorithm because you're building something bigger than just a hit record. There was a huge shift from music sales to ecosystems, two completely different things. When it was just about music sales, labels can inflate the numbers, you know, different, mainly the labels, label heads, even artists could inflate the numbers and make them look good and be on, you know, king of hip hop or king of, you know, whatever genre we're speaking of. We're more talking about hip hop and R&B, but you get my point. But now it's an ecosystem. So they're expecting you to do more. So you got merch, social media, live experiences like TikTok Live, for instance, even tech-driven, you know, fan interactions for those who are into virtual reality. I personally don't care for it, but more power to those who do. We're more in a visual-first industry, so you have to have a visual with everything you release now. Even if it's just a visualizer or a teaser, you can't just put out a record with no visuals, or else it's literally like putting out a record and everybody is like this, ears covered, not hearing the thing. They don't hear nothing. It dropped and nobody heard it, right? Or the best analogy would be nobody hears a tree falling in the forest. It's surrounded by other trees. Nobody heard it. Unless you were right there in the moment, nobody heard it. Right? It's a catch-22 because there's less gatekeepers and barriers now. But because of that, saturation's at an all-time high. And that's what allows literally anybody in, and it makes it harder for those to see who really has the talent, who really deserves the platform, the spotlight. And it's really a pay-to-play, like it's always been, but now it's even been heightened to where if you have the most money, you don't even have to have a good record. But if you got the most money and you got the better visuals and you have the machine behind you, whether it be a label, a business, an investor, and they can push whatever you're saying out to the masses the best way possible and hit every single piece of the algorithm, the record don't have to be great. Your marketing team, your advertising, your promotion, you know, as long as they're on point and you have an ecosystem, you can have a #1 record and nobody's ever heard it. It's happening now in real time. All in all, the days of just having a hit record are long gone. You have to have an ecosystem. You have to have a street team. You have to have great marketing, visuals. You have to do every piece of it, not just yourself, but have somebody for every department, and everybody has to move as a unit, as a community. Because not only are you building a community of fans, you're building a community within your ecosystem and who delegates what. Because you trust me, trying to wear all these hats is mission impossible. But if you like more content like this, drop your thoughts below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ty Slatter on all platforms. If you love Real Talk with Ty, you know, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate it. And follow me on all streaming platforms, all social media platforms, Ty Slatter. I keep it simple for y'all. And last but not least, get your copy of The Dawn. The link is in the bio. Coming to a city near you, coming to a venue near you. Appreciate that. It's been Real Talk with Ty. And until next time.
What's good, everyone? This is Ty Slatter coming to you live from Vision Studios, and I want to make sure I invite you to come here to Real Talk with Ty. But on your way, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to Ty Slatter on YouTube, because this platform right here, just for you. So if you have a new album on the way, you got a new single that's booming, you got a new business that you're starting, or you feel like you got a story that needs a platform to inspire the next generation, we got you covered right here. Real Talk with Ty. We're waiting for you.